You know what? I never really thought about the end of the world that much before making this video. Well, at least serious thought. We always joke that the world is ending, and 2020 seems to exemplify that. It doesn't really surprise me then that a lot of people, often called Doomsday preppers, really take Armageddon seriously, and even build shelters for themselves and their families just in case all heck breaks loose. And of course, if there is a need, people will find a way to make it available. We're not going to talk about basic hole-in-the-ground shelters here, oh no. We're talking about the best of the best when it comes to protection and, of course, luxury. Number 1 is literally an underground exclusive resort, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Here are 5 of the best Doomsday shelters and hideouts. Number 5. Decommissioned Missile Site, Missouri. This is an ex-Department of Defense military installation, so you can be sure of build quality. It sits 35 feet below ground level and has more than 2,000 square feet of bunker space, more than enough for you and your family. This underground bunker can only be accessed via an elevator or a catwalk ladder system. Aside from that, you would have to go through 2 thick blast doors to gain entry. Need a quick getaway? There's also an escape hatch just in case. The main problem with being cooped up underground for too long is that you quickly run out of fresh air to breathe. No worries here since there's a powerful air pump that brings in filtered air from the outside. It also has a separate pump to get rid of the sewage, and it also has the benefit of being EMP-proof, which is a big concern at the moment for the US electrical grid system. If you don't feel like living underground as of the moment but want quick access to your bunker at a moment's notice, this facility has you covered. The facility has an above-ground center measuring more than 4,136 square feet. It comes equipped with 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It has all of its basic necessities as well, such as a large fridge, oven, stove, dishwasher, and water heater, as well as the electrics with heating, internet, and a secure access room to go into the bunker. The entire property has 9 acres of farmable land enclosed in a chain-link fence and barbed wire, which honestly kinda reminds me of that prison in The Walking Dead. There's also a helipad you can use, if you have a helicopter that is. But let's face it, anybody who actually owns all this stuff probably owns a few helicopters already. If you're interested in purchasing this amazing Doomsday-ready property, well, too bad. There was an eBay listing for this property, but as of writing, it's already been taken down. But don't worry, we still have a few more Doomsday shelters for your perusal. Number 4. VIVOS EUROPA 1. This won't be the last time you'll hear the name VIVOS on this list. When it comes to the ultimate in Doomsday underground shelter/bunker luxury, it looks like they've got the market cornered. This is just one of their very successful projects. The EUROPA 1 is located in Rothenstein, Germany. It was formerly an old Soviet-built underground complex spanning 250,000 square feet and is nothing short of an underground city. It is able to house 6,000 people and has a small zoo, storage for cultural treasures, and a gene bank for plants and animals, should all life outside the shelter community be wiped out and someone has to start it again. If the world ends in one way or another, which in reality could happen at any given moment, the EUROPA 1 is capable of supporting all of its inhabitants underground for several years without needing any breach of the surface. That means no risking your life to go outside for a supply run like the many dystopian futures portrayed in movies and TV shows. The facility itself is tough and will be able to handle pretty much anything and everything you can throw at it. The 76-acre hardened facility is able to withstand a close-range nuclear blast, a direct airliner crash, biological and chemical agents, massive shockwaves, earthquakes, electromagnetic pulses, flooding, and virtually any armed attack. While the essential living and life-preserving necessities are below ground, above ground are offices, apartments, warehouse buildings, and a train depot which are built around the massive underground bunker. This place is a true underground community. Each family is given a private area in the facility, capable of being turned into a 2-story home with a built potential of up to 465 square meters. No co-inhabiting houses with complete strangers here. As one of the world's most luxurious bunkers, the pricing is not going to be cheap. To secure a room, private apartments cost $2.45 million. What's that? You don't have that kind of money, but you're willing to have a few roommates? They also have semi-private suites, which will cost you $43,000 per person. Number 3. VIVOS XPOINT. In a truly ambitious project in the Black Hills area of South Dakota, just south of the city of Edgemont, lies the world's largest community bunker area of interlinked bunkers. It was a former Army munitions depot consisting of 575 hardened concrete military bunkers. Each shelter has been renovated to be a completely self-sufficient life-preserving nuclear fallout bunker, which is built up to withstand a 500,000-pound internal blast. And who was responsible for this massive undertaking? Well, VIVOS, of course. Let's just say, if you're in one of these, you're gonna be safe. And yes, it includes you're gonna be safe from a zombie apocalypse, however unlikely that may be. They are designed to withstand virtually anything, as the bunkers are protected by thick berms of earth, which stop any surface damage. They are self-sufficient with access to off-grid water wells that pump deep from the artesian aquifer and stored within large underground reinforced tanks. If you're planning on throwing a Doomsday party, there's plenty of space for friends, with each bunker having the floor space to accommodate 10 to 24 people and cater for them for more than a year with supplies. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty long party. As far as pricing goes, the VIVOS XPOINT underground bunkers are quite competitive, as far as Doomsday bunker pricing goes. Given that they are refurbished military sites and have that community aspect to them, they have private roads and landing strips, and if you're making the investment for a bunker not in the home, but one that is managed by professionals experienced in nuclear survival and, well, doomsday prepping, then these bunkers are a very good option. The private bunkers, which fit anywhere from 10 to 24 people, cost a one-time upfront amount of $25,000 and are followed with an annual preservation fee of $1,000. Splitting that with your friends makes this a very affordable bunker. However, you just need to convince them to invest in end-of-the-world insurance, a feat in itself since most people don't even pay extra for car insurance when they rent a car. And you'd want to hope they're good enough friends that you could stay locked up in a bunker with them. Now it's time for the day's best pick. Today's pick is probably the safest and most secure Doomsday shelter on this list, but there is one problem. It wasn't made for humans. Find out what and where it is next with number 2. The SVALBARD Global Seed Vault. In Longyearbyen, the world's northernmost town on the Norwegian archipelago of Svalbard, a winter night can last up to 4 months. Despite the long winter nights, people do live here, and they even paint their houses in bright colors just to break up the monotony of seeing all the white. Its harsh and frigid climate also makes it the perfect location for one of, if not the most important Doomsday shelter today. From the slope of an ice-covered mountain overlooking the sleepy town, one innocent-looking structure cuts through the topography that appears decidedly more protected and sturdy: the SVALBARD Global Seed Vault. Conceived as a fail-proof storage facility built to withstand virtually any kind of global disaster, the vault is a highly safeguarded structure that contains duplicates of the world's seed samples ready to jumpstart food production in the event of an inevitable doomsday. To keep the food supply of a post-apocalyptic future secure, the physical vault is buried deep in the mountain bedroom, accessible only by a 320-foot-long tunnel. The only visible part of the seed repository is an entrance, a narrow fin of concrete and brushed steel. If I'm being honest, it kinda looks like the transports the Jawas used in Star Wars. The designer must have been a big fan, but then again, who isn't at this point? Anyway, the innocuous-looking exterior hides a sprawling network of tunnels and massive chambers. The design evokes a contemporary observation tower looking out toward the sea with sharp lines and hard angles that present a contrast to the rocky terrain. The designer probably figured to make it stand out a bit to make it easier to find in a post-apocalyptic future. Above the entrance and on the roof, an illuminated piece of public art emits a soft glow during the area's lengthy nights of intense darkness. From a distance, the art installation's lights could also be confused for the Arctic's famous northern lights. Temperatures within the vault tend to reflect the conditions outside, meaning it's cold enough to keep the nearly 4.5 million seed samples viable for 2,000 to 20,000 years. Additionally, its location within Longyearbyen was strategically chosen for its ability to resist a number of disaster scenarios. The tectonically stable region is protected from earthquakes, while the permafrost landscape can keep the seeds refrigerated in the event of power failure. Rising sea levels might flood the town, but would not reach the vault's elevated location, even if all the polar ice caps melt. This ambitious project does have a flaw though, and that is the event when all humans are wiped out from the planet. You see, this shelter wasn't actually designed for humans, it's more of a big storage system. But you gotta give them credit for thinking optimistically. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. Trident Lake Estates. Trident Lakes is just one of those doomsday resorts that have popped up recently. Trident is a little different to most of these hole-in-the-ground types of underground bunkers, while also being marketed as a 5-star playground with DEFCON 1 preparedness. This end-of-the-world resort takes a more practical approach to surviving Doomsday scenarios, but in saying that, it is well and truly out of the price range for myself, probably you as well. I mean, let's face it, if you have enough money to buy space here, you'd be doing more important things than watching me prattle on about different stuff on YouTube. I still appreciate you, though. So, what is it? It is a new publicly available property that sets the benchmark for luxury and security in this modern-day Doomsday property market. It is a $320 million project that features sustainable, luxurious, self-sufficient living around a golf course, 5-star spa, sport court, blue lagoon for water sports, gun ranges, equestrian center, and of course a retail area with restaurants and cafes. The living areas are in 500 plus subterranean luxury condominiums which range from 900 to 4,500 square feet. Not only are these built to withstand a nuclear blast and fallout, but they're also linked below ground with conjoining greenhouses, communal tunnels, and have access to helipads. The condominiums prioritize safety as well as self-sufficiency in that they are stockpiled with emergency food supplies, water supplies, and a renewable source for each, as well as off-grid power generators. Oh, and did I mention it's guarded by a fortified wall around the entire facility? While applications are open to the public, there are some requirements that the facility has in place. Not only is the ticket high at $500,000 to $1 million, but the facility's managers are after people with certain professions. There are a lot more of these Doomsday Shelter communities than you think. If you want to learn more about them, let us know down in the comments and we just might make a sequel to this video. Also, make sure you check out the channel's other amazing videos. With all that said and done, I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.